let's take care of business. If you're looking for something to do tonight, check out Burroughs Roadhouse out in West Brighton, 5311 Brighton Road. You can call them at 810-227-6000. That's 810-227-6000. Or go to burrows-roadhouse.com. That's Burroughs, Burrough-Roadhouse.com. And make a reservation because they do get busy. The food is great. The drinks are great. They do a Sunday brunch, which is awesome. And there's coupons in the Current, courantonline.com. $15 off any 4-dinner entree or 15% off the Sunday brunch. They do a burger and a brew for $6 on Mondays. And Wednesdays is ladies' night and pizza night. What could be better than ladies' night and pizza night on the same night? So 810-227-6000. Tell them you read it in the Current or heard it here at the Drift Radio Show. Okay, so we had a quick call coming in from Mike in Gregory. Wants to talk about John James. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Doing my research between Penzler and John James, I of course was a Penzler supporter, but thanks to Penzler's website, it connected John James to Jesse Jackson and his Rainbow Push Coalition. And over the years, him and his organization, the Rainbow Group, have been going after the large corporations to get minority businesses contracts to do business with, like the auto industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it would be a wonderful idea, since John James was associated with Jesse Jackson in that organization, to get him to come in and do a little campaigning for him during the up-and-coming senatorial election. And I kind of thought it would be a great deal, because it'd be a thorn in Debbie Kavanaugh's side, and we'd see where Jesse Jackson really does stand on issues.
Yeah, now that is great out-of-the-box thinking, Mike, and it's that kind of – make sure you get that information, email it, whatever. You can go to the John James website and make that suggestion, because that is a wonderful suggestion. You know, and I was that was one of the things that tore me between Penzler and James. I was like, are we being sandbagged by John James? But let's look at the facts. Jesse Jackson and Donald Trump at one time were friends, right? Jesse Jackson used to say wonderful things about Donald Trump. And it wasn't until he ran for president as a Republican that all of a sudden Jesse James and George Lopez and the rest of these guys all of a sudden hate Donald Trump. So, you got to take that big picture approach to it. And you know what? The veteran part for me, I love our veterans. I never served myself, and it's the one regret I have in my life. I would love to see more of our veterans get involved in politics and spend the time and effort there, because I think they're due and they're owed that respect from us. And I think the discipline that you learn in the military is a very important thing. So, but that's a great idea. Bring in Jesse Jackson if it'll help get John James elected in the urban areas of Detroit and Flint and Saginaw and that sort of thing. So that's great thinking, sure. Mike. Anything else?
Yep. Nope, that's all I wanted to say. Just, make room for the other callers, and appreciate it and enjoy your show.
Well, thanks, Mike. You show that we have some of the smartest listeners on the planet. I appreciate it, man. Call in again.
Okay.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Let's take a call from Alex in Plymouth. Alex, welcome to the show.
Hi, Gary. I heard your little bit of discussion about Puerto Rico and the rampant,
corruption,
inability to provide for their own citizens.
Yeah. And so I see you sent me the link too. So I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
And you're right. So here again, 10 containers of food and medical supplies left rotting in a Puerto Rico elections building parking lot. Right.
Absolutely. The local radio station posted a video of the stuff just left rotting with rat droppings on it, and basically it's unusable now. And these are, and the mayor of San Juan and a lot of the Democratic officials in Puerto Rico were hammering Trump because supposedly he didn't give them enough aid. Well, the aid was there. It was their inability to distribute the aid that is causing and has caused real problems.
Yeah, and isn't that amazing? Because how difficult is it to distribute that stuff? If worst case scenario, open the doors and tell people,
it's there.
Get in line and grab it and take it. If worst case scenario, give it to whatever mob is there and let them distribute it, and maybe they'll make money on it, whatever. But at least it's out there and not rotting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's another waste of tax dollars and resources, and it pains me to see it happening to people in Puerto Rico because they needed the help, and to mismanage it like that, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So, if folks, we've got Alex Wassel on the line, who sometimes sits in when I'm not here, and we always appreciate, Alex, that you come in and work with Ed when I'm gone, and I really do appreciate it. And I want you to come back in again, even when I am here, because we love working with you. But so before we leave the election campaign, how did you feel about the John James, the governor's race? Where are you sitting with this?
Well, all the candidates I voted for won, with the exception of Colbeck. But
yeah, me too.
I could live with the results. I think I've got to stress what you stress, that it's important that Republicans get together, start organizing now, and win in November, because any Democrat is going to be head and shoulders worse than any Republican that we may or may not totally agree with their agenda.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the time. You vote your conscience in the primary. And I said this last time around in 2016, in 2012, in 2010. Vote your conscience in the primary, whatever you do. But after that, you have to get on board with supporting the guy that can best, or gal, who can best beat out the Democrats, be they a man or a woman. And in the Senate race, it comes to Debbie Stabenow. She's been there too long. She's ineffective. She has done absolutely nothing. I noticed the other day, she actually voted against help for the veterans following Chuck Schumer over the last few years. And all of a sudden now she's trying to put stuff out like she's helping veterans. And John James called her out on it and asking her to a debate. And I hope that happens. I don't see Debbie Stabenow agreeing to a debate at all. I really don't. I think she knows she's got a lousy record. I know that she's going to only hurt herself by going to a debate. So I'm going to bet she'll throw up every roadblock in the world to a debate.
Well, I think all the rank and file activists in the Republican ranks will get out and do their best, and we need to do our best to defeat the Democratic Marxist candidates around the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Alex,
all right,
make sure you come in and see us again, and thanks for sending that update on the containers in Puerto Rico that got left rot by the Democrats. That was a great call, man.
I want to just say thank you, and I'll let the other people talk.
All right, thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Okay,
take care. Bye-bye. Let's take we got another call, but I don't know who it is yet. It's Chris from Ann Arbor wants to talk about the Michigan primary. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I want to talk about Patrick Colbeck. I was a supporter. I got the signs. I put them up. I put them at my neighbors that would have them, and I was looking for a better turnout. But here's what I want to propose to you for you to consider. I say Patrick Colbeck did not get 14%. He got 25%. And let me tell you why I say that. That guy that doctor from Saginaw that came in late in the race and presented himself as a Republican, as a devout Christian, as someone who gave charitable care and aid over in Africa and all that.
Jim Hines, you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, that's that. I think he's just a spoiler. I think they ought to look and see if he really is a Republican and if he's a conservative or liberal or what, but that doesn't matter. What I'm saying is anybody in politics knows to put two devout Christian right-wing conservatives on, they're just going to take half the vote from each other. So that's why I say Patrick Colbeck, as the only devout Christian conservative Republican, would have got his 14 and Hines is 11, makes 25. Now, wait a minute. That's 1 point better than the sitting Lieutenant Governor Calley got. If Colbeck had run unopposed by another conservative Christian, and he got 25, he would have got 1.1% more than Calley. It would have positioned Colbeck for the next election to be a serious contender, for real.
Yeah.
He would have got the second highest vote after Schuette, and that would make him big stuff. So I say, you can mention this to Theron, if you could.
Yeah.
Look into this Hines guy.
Yeah.
Is he actually a Republican? For how long? Is he a liberal? Is he a conservative? What is up with this guy? Because you'd have to be out of your mind coming from Saginaw to think you're going to get to be governor. Nobody knows you. You got no history in politics.
But oddly enough, he had money, because I saw some of his ads on Fox News.
Well,
right?
Sure, that can happen with being a doctor. We
Yeah,
all know that.
yeah.
But Colbeck is a state senator. I mean, he's sitting there in the legislature. He's got experience. He's got a whole career behind him as a rocket scientist. He's an engineer. He can do the job. This guy comes around from nowhere, basically, doesn't have a clue, and jumps in. The only thing you know about him, he's Republican, and he's a Christian, and he does charitable work. He's a doctor.
Yeah.
So
Well,
bang, the vote goes in half. So I say Patrick Colbeck got 25%, and I want someone to prove me wrong.
right. Oh, well, that's an interesting thought, because you know who kind of did that on the Democrat side was Sri Tanadar, right? So I'm thinking that Syed campaign is a little miffed about Sri coming in, because there's some people thinking that Sri was not really a Democrat either, because he'd been seen at Republican gatherings and other things. So there could be spoilers going on. And for the Republicans, I'm never happy with the Michigan Republican Party. I think these elitists, these establishment guys, never take a good, clear look at what's best for the people of the state. I think they look at a more lobbyist-centered approach, and they don't look at it, because they didn't give any support at all to Patrick Colbeck, who was the most conservative candidate, the guy with the best plans. And even when Pat was just state senator there, when he had plans and wanted to bring them forward, the establishment always shut Pat down, took him off of committees, did everything they could to make it hard for Pat. And that was wrong. Here's the smartest guy with the best ideas, and he's being shut down by the establishment GOP, and I don't like it. And I want people to think long and hard. When it comes to funding the Michigan GOP, you look at your candidates, pick the candidates that you think are good, and fund them. Keep the money away from the establishment GOP, because they're giving it to the people they choose, and they're not letting the best people win. That's my thoughts.
I think you're right on that, and I wish the best for Patrick Colbeck. I hope Schuette opens up a little space for him to step forward. If he had any brains, he would. And I want people to just start thinking Colbeck got 25%. And he beat the sitting lieutenant governor, and he is in contention for the next big election in Michigan politics.
Yeah. Great thoughts, Chris. Great thoughts. All right. Okay. Appreciate the call, man.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, Derek, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on to the DOJ and the FBI before the end of the show. We'll see you all on the other side of the break. This is The Drift.
Hello, Wham listeners. I'm Edwin Hoffman, host of Speaking of Art. Join me Saturdays at 3 p.m. We'll circumnavigate the world of art with lively interviews with renowned artists, collectors, dealers, museum directors and curators, writers, actors, musicians, and philanthropists. Close to home or far afield, we'll visit museums, galleries, and historic sites. We'll explore the lives of famous artists and their times, discuss current trends in art, architecture, design, and antiques collecting, as well as ways to grow and protect a collection. But the main component is you, and what you can take from the show to enhance the creativity of your life. Speaking of Art is one of the great conversations in your week. Lively and full of relevance. So nestle into an overstuffed chair and join our room full of connoisseurs every Saturday at 3 on Wham! Talk 1600. Speaking of Art, it's about civilization, yours.
It's time to tee off.
I just want to celebrate another day of living.
The 5th Annual Firekeepers Casino Hotel Golf Championship returns to the beautiful Battle Creek Country Club Friday, August 17th through Sunday, August 19th. This red-hot stop on the Symetra Tour, the road to the LPGA, features over 150 future female superstars of golf, competing for $100,000 in prizes and the Potawatomi Cup. It's a spectacular golf event that's fun for the whole family. Tickets are free and available with any donation. Proceeds benefit the Haven of Rest, an organization that assists Battle Creek's homeless. Don't miss the 5th Annual Firekeepers Casino Hotel Golf Championship, August 17th through the 19th. Time to get your Vegas on.
I just want to celebrate.
Visit firekeeperscasino.com for details. Management reserves all rights.